I'll bring my Twitch open to see if we are.
Yeah.
Obviously, as per usual.
I don't want to center this, people. You'll just have to deal. Where's Pete's name? There it is.
Man,
What?
there is another Twitch channel called Rapid Review Live,
What?
and it has 18 followers. Get out, mother.
Yeah. Wait, was that like our previous channel?
No,
Oh, okay.
totally new channel. Like the guy is doing a Phoenix Wright pose in that.
Oh. Don't.
Well, the sound's working.
I know, I hear it. Don't be nerfing our territory, man.
What a nerf herder.
Nerf herder. I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Oh well, there's the Discord notification gone out, so that's a good
Excellent.
start. At least it went out pretty quicker than Streamlabs OBS.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I gotta mention. I need to do just a brief mention of that. I know it doesn't matter.
We are going to.
It's
No, we're
behind
going
the
to because I think it's kind of important.
Yeah.
Because we.
It also explains why it looks a little funny today.
Well, also because why we use it and we stream, so I think it's probably for the best that we probably discuss it in some brief way.
That's kind of how I feel. Oh my gosh, I have the dumbest song stuck in my head. I think I'm gonna have to karaoke it to get it out of my head. Ooh. Does anyone else think that the Oculus looks like boobs, or is that just me?
Just you. And we all know that you're like perverted anyway, so.
Well, I am perverted, although it is usually towards the cis male direction, but I can't deny they look like boobs to me.
Yes. And knowing that I am a closet pervert,
Yes.
I don't think that's quite bad. So yeah, I think that's just a you thing.
That's just a me thing.
Yeah. Which is why I just said that it's probably a you thing, not anything else. 'Cause we all know that I'm as bad as you are at times.
Yes. I don't know. Chat, you have some minutes to join us, but then you have 3 minutes to join us. But then I want to know, is it better to be an out in the open pervert or a closeted pervert? Although...
Is it better to be out in the open pervert, the one that stands in bushes, or a closet pervert that does it behind the screen on the internet?
I wouldn't hide behind the bushes. I would stand outside their window and be like obvious with the camera. No.
Oh, what you mean like that pervert gif with the like in the bushes?
I haven't seen that one.
You know the one. You would know the one if you saw it for sure.
The only thing I can think of is Michael Myers from Halloween, where he's just standing there staring.
Okay. I bet you I won't ever be able to find this one.
Of course not. That's how it always works. You cannot find gifts that...
When you look for them.
Yeah, you cannot. And I always see, like... This is so dumb, chat, but this is for you know a little bit about me. If I come across gifts that I'm like, oh, one day when I'm in a loving relationship...
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Use those.
Jesus. No, so on a totally aside,
yes.
I literally just put perv gif in Google search, and the first thing that comes up is like the perviest smile of Rick Mail, and it's so funny.
I love him so much.
No, when you see this, you'll know
why. I'll try, but it might crash. But I do want to see.
Oh, I don't care. This is going to be worth it.
Oh, it's worth it? Oh, goodness.
Oh, it'll be worth it. Trust me.
Oh, I just love him. Oh, goodness. Yep.
Yep.
I'll tell you.
That is so pervy. So pervy.
I'll tell you. Because Rick Mayhall, obviously British comedian, not really known in America. So when I was little and I was being babysat, they put on Drop Dead Fred.
Yes, I found it. Sweet. Sorry, carry on.
And I thought the ending. Now I was like 10 when I first saw it, and I thought the ending was so romantic, and like he really
Yeah.
loved her, and they should have went off together. And now I'm like, what is wrong with you? But anyway, long story short, that's what made me fall in love with Rick Mayall.
Well, yes, of course.
And now I've seen Bottom and other things he's done, and then he played King Herod in Jesus Christ Superstar, and it was amazing. And anyway,
Yeah, but don't forget, he like his best role is by far in Blackadder. Goes forth.
woof, yes.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Like that is one of the funniest episodes of that series as well.
I always wanted to be the female version of that.
Yeah, right. I'm posting it in the chat now. The one that I actually did want to find. So
Okay.
there you go. Enjoy. This is the one.
Oh, that is so creepy. Yes.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Now you know why I say it's the pervy
Yeah.
like peeking from the bushes. That's
Yeah.
you, by the way.
I don't know that I would be peeking though. I
That's-
think I would just be standing in front of him.
So what, you mean like Michael Scott with a trench coat on where he puts his finger through his trousers?
So if I was a dude, I think I would do stuff like that.
Oh, I think you'd probably do it even if you weren't a dude anyway.
Well,
You probably would.
I seen like there's like a cover of like Rolling Stone or something where I don't remember which music chick it was or something. But anyway, a chick did it, and I don't know. It didn't have the same energy
No, it probably doesn't, but still.
because there isn't the same kind of rebellious energy. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to imagine like what would the girl version be. All I can think of is fist out the front of your shirt, but then you just look stupid.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What have you seen now?
No, just you
Oh.
saying that is so bad. Just a fist out the front. Oh my god.
Chat, we're gonna give you a couple more minutes
Yeah.
because there's nobody here.
I can't keep up this energy all day.
I can't either. I mean, I am gonna take some wine shots.
Excellent.
So they were asking at the gym, oh well, you know, why aren't you having a beer with us? Because they have beer every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh well, I really can't ingest wheat. It makes me very ill. And they were like, oh, okay, so it's not like I was like, no, I drink quite a lot. And they were like, wait, but what's quite a lot? And I was like, oh, I don't know that I want to admit that because my trainer's right there. And he's looking at me like,
Yeah, because you don't want the eyes of judgment on you. Of like, oh shoot, I drank a whole bottle of prosecco during a recording of an episode last week.
Well, that's what
Whoops.
I said. Like, well, how much do you drink? And I'm like, oh, I average about 1 bottle a week. 2 if it's a really bad week. No, that's the truth. Now, that is the truth. Of course, I do it all in one go.
Okay, all right.
I'm all or nothing.
Fair enough.
I'm all or nothing.
Your average is a Sunday, and that's it.
Exactly. Yeah. An hour on a Sunday. Anyway, so they all start laughing at me. Not my trainer, mind you. But they all start laughing, and they're like, one bottle a week? That's nothing. We thought you were going to be like 1 bottle a night, and blah, blah. I was like...
No, that's a problem.
I'm like, yeah, so wait, you're saying I don't drink too much. And they're like, no. I was like, I looked over at my trainer, I was like, I guess I should start drinking more. And he's like, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
So I will keep it at 1 bottle a week until my liver gives up.
Even that. Yeah. Basically how I felt. Mostly.
Oh yeah,
right.
we need to start because we need to talk. Oh look, there's Bueno. I mean Brent.
There's Bueno.
I did it again, Brent.
What?
Hi,
Brent.
I've called him Bueno.
I know.
Before.
I know. Hi,
see-
Brent. Bueno to you too.
But see, you have to understand, chat. I'm one of those people. You can put the word like yellow, but you put it the color red, but it says yellow.
You'll say red.
Oh yeah, my brain just goes. It's like
Yeah. Overload.
What's
going on?
We've talked about how I,
Literal.
Well, yeah, and I'll read whatever's in front of me. So.
That's true. Funnily enough, they I know another week of modern escapism talk. Yeah, funny that. No, they did
Friend
a similar
of the show.
thing as well. they did a similar thing on their episode as well, because they finally actually recorded in person,
Ooh,
which is
right.
quite cool. We've
Yeah, I
obviously got
can't wait till
Oodles
we
on
do
our
that.
Discord who couldn't make it, which is really unfortunate. But
Yeah.
like one of the guys had actually screwed around with the bit
the
that they were
soundboard or
doing to
whatever.
for the Patreon shout out,
Aww.
and changed one of the words, and he read it out as is, and they didn't realise until he said it, and they just started bursting out laughing. And they did all the same things. It's like, I am Ron Burgundy, and all that, like we would usually do as well. So good to know that we're in good company. That
Exactly.
they also make the Ron Burgundy jokes.
Yeah, of course we were making them once an episode for a while there.
Oh, I know we were, yeah, because your auto cue was always set to absolute crap. So
yes, and oh, yeah, we'll talk about it in the show. Okay, I'm gonna start the show now because it's gonna be a short one.
Well, yeah, just give me a moment. I'll count us in, all right?
Okay.
I need to get the backup recording.
What do you think about? Should I turn this fan off, even though I'm sweating to death?
I can't hear it at the moment, but I know
it will
probably come. I know it will probably come out in the recording, so maybe not. Unless it's that freezing cold that you'll get icicles on you before the end of the show.
Oh no, I would not allow that.
Why did you suddenly go all Canadian? Oh no.
Sometimes you really can hear my grandparents' influence on my talky words.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you have some Canadian in your family, don't you? So you've got, so you've got nicest country in the world, biggest redneck, and biggest drinking nations on your on your CV.
We'll go with that. It all originated in Scotland and then spread out to Texas and Canada. That's so funny to me.
But you're also in Ireland as well.
And I'm in Ireland. So, explain to me, world, how 8 billion people in the world at any one time. And I came about in the weirdest possible way. I mean, everyone's life is strange. You know, life is a weird thing.
Strange.
Life is strange. But, two families. That's how Shakespeare begins. But 2 families, one in the Highlands and one in Glasgow, never met each other, never knew each other.
Bumped the uglies.
Never bumped uglies at the time. The ones on the Isle of Skye head over to Canada. They raise up a dude. He goes joins the war. Ends up with a chick in Glasgow.
Then bumps the uglies.
But the chick in Glasgow... is actually Italian, full-blooded Italian, just got stranded there during the war. So they marry, move to Canada, bump uglies, have children. Those children trickle down into Texas, while this other Scottish family from the middle, of Scotland.
From the middle.
Yeah, it's like, wait. From the middle of Scotland, moves to Texas. Now, guys, the world is huge. I don't understand how this happened. And then that chick, as in my mother, gets a wild hair up her ass, just decides to go to New Mexico and join a carnival where my dad happens to be the, not bodyguard.
Texan Canadian, basically.
Well, yeah, but he was like the bouncer for the carnival.
Oh, right, yeah.
The bodyguard of the guy. And then they two meet, and then they bump uglies. I can't say fall in love, because I don't think they loved each other.
No.
And then
I know the story of that family. That is probably not the most apt description.
Right. So the chances of my existence are almost,
so slim.
Yeah, just one little butterfly wing, and I would have not. The chances that I arrived here, and I'm also genetically Scottish, is mind blowing to me.
So basically, what you're saying is that we should, that all fans of this podcast should thank Scotland, Canada, Texas, and a couple of stranded Italians who bumped uglies,
and New Mexico carnivals.
Had it not been for that genetic gene pool mixing, then Jesus Christ, you wouldn't be here.
It's really if you really and I don't just mean about me. If you really think about how people meet in this world, it's so just
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. And then I have the most generic, crappy story of how I met my partner in a pub
No, I think
whilst I
it's
was working.
great. I think it's great. I think I like the whole wholesome, straightforward thing. You saw
Yeah,
her
okay,
and
okay.
you went, that's the one. I like that. I think that's cool.
I did. I did. But then lost contact for
And then
2
lost
weeks.
contact.
God damn it.
But thank
No,
goodness.
had it not been for that lucky person Facebook stalking one of her friends, they're perfect.
Exactly. Thanks. See, but this makes sense. Oh my gosh! Think about when you have kids, Pete. They're little like if this wasn't modern social media.
So basically, you're saying this is the modern version of Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, except not tragic.
I don't know. It's really tragic. We lost contact for 2 weeks.
For 2
That's
whole
tragic
weeks.
enough.
Oh my gosh! Here I am, 20 years searching. Pete's like, for 2 weeks, Kylie, for 2 weeks.
Look, I spent 4.5 years single at that point.
I know.
I was desperate. I was desperate.
Don't put it in that context.
I think most people after 4.5 years would consider
Oh,
themselves desperate.
don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to me.
You're long past the desperation stage.
Long past. Well, when we say desperation, I mean.
I know what I mean by that,
Yeah.
and I'm not talking like I'm literally about to throw my clothes off for
Yeah, for
anyone
anyone.
who will show me
No.
attention. No, I meant it in a very different sense because I know personality-wise you're not like that. So
exactly. Oh hell no. Yeah, like for all my sauciness, we'll say.
anyway, we've lost viewers with this conversation, so let's go.
We haven't actually. That's the thing.
I'm joking.
I'm watching the original counter over here, and it's
it went down on Twitch. So
I know. I don't know why Twitch is showing.
Yeah.
So Twitch is being nice.
Stupid Twitch. Anyway, shall we start a show?
We should.
Okay, so I'm going to count us down. So we are going to start the show in 3, 1.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews episode 101. Pete, it goes 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Yep.
That's me.
Well, we're at
to
101 episodes. We now have to mix things up, and I do like to catch you off guard sometimes.
Yes. And which
especially the one where I did the Wayne's World point.
Oh, I know. That's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, that one cracked you up. I don't think you could even talk for the first 30 seconds on that one.
It's very good. We have fun here over at Rapid Reviews Radio.
You've been thrown so off by that. Introduce yourself.
Okay, wait. Brent's thrown me off, so I'm going to introduce us first. I'm your co-host, Kylie Wild. I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett. I don't know what I was about to call you. Coat? I think.
Grab your coat.
Coast? I think. I don't know.
Look, I'll take that because it's a good reference to Space Ghost, Coast to Coast.
Oh, I love Space
There
Ghost.
you go.
But
there's a tangent we could go on, but we're not going to.
We're going to fight hard against tangents because I'm exhausted and not drunk. And Pete, not yet anyway, Pete had a very long, fun, fulfilling day that we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. But I do want to check in with chat, and then I'll check in with Pete. Brett says, and something that has definitely caught my attention. To be fair, I'm not paying attention. Thanks, buddy. No, I'm kidding. Shopping for half-price 1920s art? That's one of my favorite decades.
Oh, no wonder it piqued your interest then. Okay, fair enough.
When we're talking art, anyway.
Yes.
There's some major movements that happen there that are very boring to the average listener. Anyway.
I know a couple of people who might be interested in it, but one of those is not me.
Yes.
Sorry.
He actually
I
says
apologize.
A specific art series called 1920 Plus. Oh, what is that? Is it sci-fi or what is it? I want to know. I'm curious.
I don't know about that. Anyway, shall we move on whilst we await the Daisy is in one.
There's many daisies out there.
I think he might be talking about his dog.
That's amazing. I must know more about this. Anyway, We're going to move on because we are limited for time, because we're limited for energy.
Yes.
Look, I haven't even made it through a full glass of wine yet. That tells you how tired I
Oh yeah,
am.
you've been running on no sleep, like you've been saying this
Oh
morning, right?
gosh, yeah, absolutely. So hopefully I'll pass out here afterwards.
Yeah, I hope so.
I do too. Oh, that's so gross. I didn't mean to have my lipstick towards the camera. Eek.
Oh
Um,
well, who cares?
so Pete, let's check in with you. First of all, how was your week? Our week post 100th episode. Again, I want to thank Karen and Deadbeat for showing up for that. Um,
And Brent and Nana.
well, yeah, I wasn't done.
Sorry.
See, I think here. I'm sorry, tangent people. I think in my brain, there's this weird. I was gonna say hierarchy, but it's not that. It's boxes, and so like we have our guests, like our guests, like people who are never gonna be on the show again, or will be very rarely on the show. You know, they're like special guests. It's usually
Oh my god.
what?
What?
They're like
That's no way to talk about deadbeat punk.
no,
Hashtag Sunday beef.
no, Debbie's not in that box. In that box,
I'm glad you clarified it.
is your writers, your game devs,
Okay.
your
Right.
you know,
Okay. Yeah.
they're
Your
doing
Joe
the
Donnelly's.
publicity
Your
circuit, which Joe, we would love to have you back.
Yeah.
But you know that, and then we have what I would put as
Well, the staple guess.
not the staples, people that like you could pull me out and plop them in like Deadbeat. So does
Basically,
that make sense?
interchangeable co-hosts, pretty much.
Kind of like that. They're more. I
Yeah.
don't want to say. I don't mean more than a guest. That's not what I mean. They are just. I qualify them differently. And Kieran's.
Yeah. Okay.
Kieran's in a class by himself because he's kind of like a standing co-host forever.
Yeah. I know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
He definitely is in that category for sure.
And then we have our regulars. Now, I say regulars, but that is just as awesome as anyone. Like these are all equal. These are not like. Ooh.
Yeah, those are the ones that we rely on when we're in a pinch for guests and
Yes,
people,
and
you know, and they always
our
show
Brents
up
and
and
our
do
Nanas,
their part. Yeah.
Yes, our Richards, all of them. The people I just want to high five every time I see them and stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of high fives, that might segue very nicely onto the discussion
Yes.
of talking about last night.
I want to hear. I want to hear about your night, Pete.
Well, I'll talk about the week quickly because you did
Yeah,
ask,
you can
but
actually answer a question instead of me interrupting.
I'll be honest, I was on a massive low through the week after after post 100 because it was such fun. That when I went back and listened to it, I was like, I want to do this all over again. This is great, but no, so I had a bit of a low moment. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm depressed, or sort of thing. No, it was just like,
I think I can understand.
We put so much into it that I was just tired and just.
Yeah, I think I can kind of relate to that. Well, maybe not relate, but I think I can get what you mean.
Yeah, but that low moment was definitely increased last night to a very high moment. Jesus. Yay! So, for the visual viewers, I have a Together We Play T-shirt from our meetup in London last night.
Maybe do a very, very brief info dump about what Together We Play is. I mean, we know it.
Okay.
Just
Together We Play, as you know, because we've had Richard on. He is the one of the co-founders of that when it was back by another name, but it is a Discord server with. Where inclusivity is all, is paramount, basically. So they, people from all walks of life, gay, straight, trans, everyone, black,
all
white,
of the alphabet,
whoever you are,
yes.
whatever you are, there's a place for you there, and it was amazing. So last night they, after months and months of organisation, including with myself, I wasn't involved that much in that side of things, but. They held it at a place called Meltdown in London, which is on the Caledonian Road in North London.
Oh, actually,
not a great area.
I was gonna say I vaguely know where that area is. Not like, but I know a little bit about that area. Wow.
Yeah. The funny thing was, I have a mate who lives quite close to me. He's originally from that area, and when I said to him I was in that area, he said, "Put your phone in your pocket. Probably not a good idea to be texting me right now."
Oh, right. But yeah, I get
um,
that.
so yeah, scathing indictment on North London as a whole, I'm afraid. But
Yeah.
the place, Meltdown, it was brilliant. So it's a gaming bar.
Hmm.
So they had loads of setups there, and yeah, we had about 25 to 30 people turned up, considering it was a slightly stripped back event because of obviously COVID restrictions
Right.
still.
Right.
To have that many people there was quite incredible. Um, so we got there, had a load of fun. People got drunk, obviously. I stayed sober the whole time because I don't drink anymore. I did drink mocktails, which was fun. And they had gaming themed like cocktails and mocktails.
Yeah.
And we hosted a Mario Kart and a Smash Brothers tournaments,
That's awesome.
and I was organising the Smash Brothers tournament. And Jesus Christ, it went on for 4 hours.
It's good practice for
But yeah, we
bench.
ran a double elimination tournament, and oh, it was great fun, so much fun. But it got to the point where we got to the final, and we were being kicked out because it was getting beyond time, and it was like we were still.
Oh, right.
So it was sort of like we had to wrap things up quickly and get everything put together
Oh
and
my
that. But
gosh.
yeah, other than that, it was so much fun. Like so many people that are obviously because I organise Smash Brothers sessions like every couple of weeks with them, putting names to faces, being able to meet them in person, and it was so much fun. And I got to see Toby again, got to see
Hmm.
Richard again, and my God, Richard like just would he is the most panicky man I think I have met in my entire life because as an
Oh.
organizer he's like literally running around going, "Is everything okay? Is
Yes,
this
that's
going
what you
okay?"
do.
So like,
Yeah.
Richard, calm the hell down, man. I've got it under control.
Oh,
Go and have fun.
I get that though. I do. I
No,
do. Having
I,
been
I
the organizer, of course, I'm usually quite tipsy and more of a host
yeah, well,
role.
he was too. He was too.
Yeah.
So yeah, he kept on coming over and asking if everything was going all right. I was like, Richard, just leave me and Ross to sort this out. We're good.
Right.
You go and have fun, mingle with the people. We're good. We're good.
Oh, that's so
But
good.
yeah, it
That's
was
so
it was
good.
amazing. It was so much fun. I got home late, and I wouldn't change that for the world, to be honest, because
Aw.
it's ridiculously good fun.
I'm
I
very
I
glad to
did
hear
get
that.
I did get stuck with a couple of rowdy Geordies on the way home on the
Oh
train,
goodness.
which was bloody hilarious, but kind of annoying at the same time.
Oh
At that point,
my.
like in the night, where I'm like, screw this, I just want to put my earphones in. I'm tired as hell. Just leave me alone. But no,
Oh
they wouldn't
right.
shut up.
Yeah. No. That's yeah. But I have to say, like, living vicariously through everyone's Twitter posts of the night, I
Mm,
loved seeing how happy everyone was. I love that just seeing people back interacting
mm,
again. I mean, again, I've reiterated it many times, but Belfast, Northern Ireland, and just Northern Ireland, no, the freaking whole island of Ireland has had one of the most strict lockdowns.
mm.
I think New Zealand is probably the most strict.
Yeah, there's been a couple of countries that had ridiculously strict lockdowns, and I was
Yeah,
surprised that Ireland's been on that as well.
yeah, and so it's been different for us, watching you
Mm,
guys be able to kind of interact and stuff. But this time watching it, it was hopeful, if that makes sense. Everyone was laughing, having a good time, and just the positivity that was coming out of that was just like, oh, that's so good.
mm.
I,
Yeah,
I want humans to like each other again.
and we did enough of that last night. Trust me.
Oh, really?
Everyone who, because we've all met like in an online capacity, you'd think there's some sort of kind of awkwardness, a few like bit of don't know about them. But no, like everyone was like well on board to have a good laugh, have fun, enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
There were a couple of people there that got a bit, a bit anxious beforehand, but they were
Well,
reassured as well, and
yeah.
it was very good to see that everyone was like, on point last night.
Hmm.
They all, they're very respectful like of the venue and everything. Um,
See that
I'm going to
that's
take this moment.
huge.
Obviously, I don't think they'll ever hear this, but Meltdown in London. My goodness, what a job they did hosting us! Like
That's so good.
they didn't have to do this. They had a happy hour on to start for the first couple of hours,
Right.
but then it came to that point where Richard had grabbed the microphone and went, "Yeah, like get your last orders in for happy hour." They just went, We're extended happy hour until the end of the night for you guys. 2 for 13 on
Oh,
cocktails all night. They were like, that's awesome. That was
that's
awesome. It
amazing.
was like they didn't have to do that. They were very accommodating. Like they opened at 5 o'clock in the evening, but the fact that me and one of the other guys were there at 4:30, seen us outside and went, "Yeah, you can come in and start setting up if you want to."
See
You know,
that?
it was
I love
great,
that.
great customer service. Great, like they made the night absolutely fantastic. Like they let us get away with a lot, let's say. You
Yes.
know, so but yeah,
Aw.
massive shout outs, and I'd highly recommend Meltdown on Caledonian Road to anyone who wants to go there just to have a bit of
Um,
fun.
when you tag or when you post this on Twitter, maybe give us a
Oh,
little
we'll do,
tag, just a little tag
we'll do.
for that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really cool. That I cannot tell you, as someone who hosts lots of things and coordinates lots of things and all this kind of stuff. Everything that Pete has just said is like it's huge to me because
mm,
that's one thing that like of the millionty things that I do with my life, my favorite thing is putting on things, hosting them, and making people
yeah.
have not making people have a good time, but giving people a good time and letting them laugh and enjoy each other's
Hmm.
company. And it's so good to hear that all of that is starting to come back.
Yeah, because I know from an organizer's standpoint, I've organized my own events before as well. And one of the worst things about it is when you find a location or a venue that is not very receptive to what you're
Right.
doing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
their customer service is really awful as a result of it, because
Yeah.
you want to go back and use that place
Hmm.
again in the future because it's,
It
you
takes
know,
the
everything
pressure
leading
off.
up to that point is
Yeah.
good, it's been good, but
Yeah.
then they sort of on the night they just don't
Mm.
deliver, so you then have to look at other places in the future after that,
Yeah.
and it all puts a spanner in the work. So
Yeah.
you know, the fact that they were so good all night just really helped like make it smooth running. It just meant that we as organisers could just be left on our own to just get everything done and enjoy it, you know,
Right.
and then everyone that was there could just take a load off and just have fun and just
I love
get
that.
have a few drinks and chat with people they've been speaking to online for the last
I loved
two
it
years or
so
18 months,
much.
2 years. So
Yes.
it was great. It was fantastic. So 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Why don't you, if you can think of it off the top of your head, if not, don't worry, but give the connectiones to Together We Play, if you can generate
I
that.
can't I can't
And
at
put it in the
present
show.
not
Yep.
can't give a link to the Discord at present, I think I Monday, but I
That's fine.
think from Monday check the Twitter at Together We Play and there'll be
There
a
you go.
link to the Discord on there. They had
Yeah.
to lock it off because of the event that was coming up,
Mm,
so they didn't want too many people turning up. So
that makes sense.
Um,
That
so
makes
yeah,
so much
that
sense.
should be by the time this episode goes live, that should be reopened again. So they host Smash Brothers tournament
Yeah.
sessions each week, like loads of community games like Mario Kart, Smash, Fall Guys, Among Us, and a fair few others. They do the quiz at the end of each month as well over
Mm-hmm.
Zoom, and there's loads of things in there to keep people interested. But even if you're just looking for new people to just talk to, even better as well, because
Yeah.
they're all a great bunch of people.
It looked like a lot of fun, good people. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but all these covers were great. They looked
Mm,
great and looked fun.
yeah.
Um, all right, we have about half an hour now to talk about what we
Well, we
came
have
for.
45 minutes, so we're gonna.
Pete's
In
gonna have to
case
take
any,
charge.
yeah, in case anyone didn't realise from the previous year, but we love dunking on the cable.
I don't know that
So
we're ever gonna love him. I don't know
no,
Kieran's stance. I don't know Kieran's stance. And one year he'll be here to join us for this. Um,
yeah, he probably will. Like when the
hopefully
actual
next year.
awards are given, we may do a
Yeah,
wrap up show for it, so we might
but
be
I
able to
know.
get him on for that one.
So I know, like we try not to have an echo chamber here, but
Mm.
when it comes to the Game Awards, Pete and I are definitely very eye to eye on this.
Yeah, Geoff Shill-ley, as I like to call him.
I just got no time for them. But anyway,
Yeah.
take the lead,
Anyway,
Pete. Yes, you go for it.
so the Game Awards nominations this year have been released this week. As you could imagine, there was a lot of fervour and a lot of issues with some of the nominations.
Right.
So we're going to go over a couple of the categories. We're not going to cover every single one because things like best esport event, best esports coach, best esports team, best
Which,
esports athlete,
look,
best esports game.
we already know
Not
is
we don't really care.
yeah, but we already know it's James Fraser over at Queens.
Yes, it
What is
should
it?
be.
What
It
is
should be
it?
James Fraser Morrison
Yes,
as the best, and the
all
QM
of them.
Samurais as the
Thank
best
you.
esports team.
Yes.
So yes, that should be there.
Yeah.
Things like content creator of the year. I don't give a rat's
That's
ass about at
us
all.
clearly.
Yeah, because we didn't get the nomination.
Yeah.
Jeff. Jeff.
Yeah, where's ours? Oh, look, I paid you 10. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, that's probably how this works, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like, let's not beat around the bush here. So, most anticipated game is a load of crap because you can't anticipate a game that's not out yet.
Well, you can't
Like, give an
quantify.
award for it.
You can't quantify anticipation. That's so silly to me.
No, yeah, but giving an award for a game that, like, the critics are most
Well, that's what I'm
anticipating.
saying. You can't quantify
But,
anticipation.
Okay. To put this into layman's terms, then last year's most anticipated game is a game that has now been made as a 2022 game as Elden Ring. So that award means absolutely nothing to me. So
Yeah.
suck out.
None of these awards mean anything to me.
Best community support, absolute nonsense. Don't care about that one. Best mobile game. We don't really play mobile games, so we're not going to talk about that one.
I used to though. It's weird.
I know. Best VR and AR game. We both don't play VR or AR games, so I'm not really going to talk about those ones at all. I would talk about best fighting game, but the nominees are absolute rubbish this year, and just to briefly, very briefly go over it.
Yeah, because that is your area of expertise, so we do need to discuss that. So go for it.
So, fine. So the nominees for this one were Demon Slayer. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the rest of that because it's all a load of weeb crap. So, sorry, Nana, I've just insulted your whole weeb society. Guilty Gear Strive, Melty Blood Type Lumina, Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl, and Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Now, this is an obvious category because there's only one game that's going to win this.
Nickelodeon, right?
Sorry?
Nickelodeon?
No, Guilty Gear Strive.
Well, okay, so that was my first thought when you said Guilty Gear. But
yeah.
Nickelodeon's got so much money behind them.
Doesn't matter. It's dropped off the face of a cliff in terms of player numbers within 2 weeks after it released. Like, the game is
I almost
quite bad, apparently.
Well, I almost tagged you, but apparently Sony is releasing a different... You know how they used to have Sony All-Stars?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That game that was a Smash Brothers clone that was ridiculously nonsensical because of its skill mechanics.
Well, now they've come up with another one, named it something else, and it's Warner Brothers mixed in with...
Oh, that Multiverses.
Multiverses, that's it.
Yeah, already seen it. Looks absolute trash.
Yeah,
looks so bad. So,
well, you know what? I think we're going to have a show with all the, like, multi-brawlers. Does that make sense?
You mean the platform fighters, as they call them?
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. I knew what you meant. That's why I thought I'd revise that one. So, Guilty Gear Strive's the only one that's probably going to win on this one. It's the most recognised game. It's probably the most polished out of the fives. Sorry, and it's Guilty Gear. It's a bigger property than the rest.
Look, even like I am a peripheral viewer of fighting games, and I know Guilty Gear. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's one of those things that you know. So we'll go over a couple of the couple of the categories in brief ways because there are a couple that I do want to shout out as being quite good, and then we'll get into the controversial ones, of course. So I'm going to go first of all, just completely out of chances, innovation and accessibility as the category.
Right.
So the nominees for this one was Far Cry 6, Forza Horizon 5. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and The Veil, Shadow of the Crown.
Now,
okay.
Wait, this might sound... What do you think? Well, this might sound very... I'll use the term ableist. But I think that they should say why they were nominated for accessibility, because I don't know. Like, I know a little bit about Forza because I believe Brent is the one that told us about the accessibility options there. I think it was Brent. Um,
Yeah, I can also tell you that there is an incredible amount of accessibility in that game as well.
that's
Like,
what I've heard.
um, the fact that you can increase the size of subtitles is something I've been asking for years.
Yeah,
Like,
as we
and
get
then color
older.
coding the actual dialogue, like the person
Hmm.
like who is speaking. Great idea. Why isn't it in every game?
Right.
You know,
Like, yeah,
it's one. Of,
that is so funny to me how accessibility options kind of become that. Like, well, why wasn't this always implemented? You know?
yeah, yeah. It's one of those things that you realize like after the fact. It's like, well, we've gone this far down. Why wasn't this implemented a long time ago? And it's
Hmm.
not just for people who have accessibility issues. It could be for anybody who might struggle with anything, you know.
Hmm.
Because my point was the whole time throughout was that we're getting bigger and bigger TVs with more fidelity, better visual quality,
Yes.
but yet subtitles are getting smaller and smaller. Why is
Yes.
that the case?
Yeah.
Like, I I don't usually like subtitles in movies because it's movies unless you're watching foreign film, of
Yeah.
course. But in games, I have them on all the time because there
Oh,
might be things that
definitely.
I miss.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much going on, and you're actively you. God, that sounds weird, but you're actively using your brain, whereas like if you're passively watching a movie, I personally prefer subtitles on all the time, but that's because I'm a slow. I like to kind of feast on morsels.
Mm.
I'm a slow thinker.
Yeah,
But as far as like gaming, it's good to have subtitles on, and a lot of people use them. I bet if there was a percentage, I think it would be over 50% of people use subtitles.
yeah,
Whether hearing impaired or whatever reason, because
mm,
you're thrown into situations where you're using everything, and to be able to see what's being said, I don't know, it takes
yeah.
a lot of pressure off.
Yeah, because you might be distracted by like a good piece of music that's happening
Oh
during a
yeah.
combat section. Like you're heavily invested. Like for example, God of War, like from
Oh
2018.
yeah.
Like you'll have like a brutal section where you need to concentrate on multiple enemies, and Atreus is saying
Oh
something
yeah.
that still is part of the story, and you're like,
Yeah.
what did he just say? I've missed that. So subtitles really help with that kind of thing because
Mostly,
you could
ow,
often get lost in that.
help me.
Yeah.
No, but it's
So,
true. It is true.
yeah. So Um, I can't say for sure, obviously, about the rest of these,
Hmm.
but I would give it to Forza Horizon because I've seen it in person. How much they have in there, like in
Right.
terms of the accessibility
So
options,
what were the
and
other?
we do know that Microsoft are obviously doing this on a UI level more than anything as well, and enabling this to like
Well, okay,
every developer in the ecosystem.
which is good. So it's Forza, Ratchet and Clank. What are the other ones?
Yeah. Uh, Far Cry 6.
Which I don't. Okay.
I've got to bring it up now again.
Oh,
Thanks.
sorry.
All good. All
Sorry,
right.
not sorry. No.
Far Cry 6, Forza Horizon, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratchet and Clank, and Veil, the Shadow of the
Now,
Crown.
see, Brent, our resident accessibility expert, says Vale better win. Um,
Oh, okay.
if you
I've heard
catch
it's got
this,
really good like options in it.
well, if you catch this, because he is doing other things, but if you catch this, give us a sentence or two. Give us your statement on why Vale should win. I would like to know. I'm very curious. I don't know anything about
Yeah.
Vale.
But
But
anyway, yeah,
anyway,
we'll get back to that in a minute anyway. So we'll
yeah.
give Brent a moment to obviously formulate his points on
My
that one.
makeup
So
is
we'll
so bad today. Anyway.
oh be quiet. Be quiet.
I was
So
running late, and you can tell. Anyway.
no, be quiet. It's not that bad. You think it's bad, it's not that bad. Anyway,
Yes, next
so
sentence.
I'll go on to another smaller one because I think this one needs talking about as well. Is
Okay.
best community support. So I'd guess this is an online like
I
how
don't
much a game is being supported even after post launch.
see. That's
So
another. How
we
do you
have Apex
quantify that?
Legends, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, and Destiny 2.
I was gonna now see. This is my thing. What does that mean? Because if we're talking community as far as what the developer is providing. Destiny, and yeah, I'm biased. We will say that, but Destiny
Yeah.
really does. They put out their bug their bug
Roadmap.
reports. Well, they put out their
Oh yeah.
roadmap. They put out their bug reports every week.
Mm-hmm.
They have contests for the community all the
Yeah.
time. They acknowledge like fan art and all kinds of stuff, fan
Mm-hmm.
builds and all that kind of stuff, and which is Bungie's always done that, even back in its Halo days, which is
Oh, I know.
why I adore
This is what
Bungie.
I was saying before when we were talking last week about
Mm-hmm.
GTA. And I specifically
Oh,
mentioned
right.
how much Bungie were involved in the community aspect of things and still are.
Right. And so do they mean that, or do they mean, when they say community, do they mean how much the community itself supports it? Because then we gotta say,
Fine.
Fortnite.
We will fine. We'll go by the description that's on the Game Awards website that I'm using for this.
Perfect. That answers
Recognizing,
everything.
I know, recognizing a game for community, outstanding community support, transparency and
See,
responsiveness,
that's
inclusive of
just
social
Bungie.
media activities and game updates / patches.
Bungie won't win it, but to me, that is 100% Bungie. It'll be Fortnite.
No. There's one other game on this list that does it better, I think.
Ooh. Which one?
Because most of their updates are free.
Okay.
No Man's Sky.
Right. I mean, if you want to get technical, yes, No Man's Sky
Well,
does meet all
but
of
it's
those.
but it's also the fact that they shadow drop it. They don't tell anyone what's going on. They're massive updates as well that completely change the whole dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
The only thing sitting against this is that it's now been nominated 5 years in a row.
Yeah. That's
So
another
not sure
thing
about that side of things.
we're talking about. But Brent has given us a statement.
Okay, let me have a look then. It's a purely audio game and uses VR special audio.
I'll have to look into that.
That would be the Veil. Interesting.
Yeah, yes, that is in regards to the Veil. I don't know much about it, I'll be honest, so that has piqued my curiosity.
Yeah, I can't say I know too much as well. It's interesting to hear, so I'll. Haha, very funny. But I'll give it a look at least.
Yeah.
It does sound at least very interesting. So I'm trying to pick out another couple of categories here that are like tiny and not that great, to be honest. Right, should we go best ongoing then? Best ongoing game. Or
is that going to be called Best Live Service next year? Oh, you heard it here.
Probably going to be Best Live Service next year. So this is
it.
so the nominations for this one, but it says awarded to a game for outstanding development on ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Kind of expected. So
live service. That's literally what that
basically,
is.
yeah.
Who's
So this will come as absolutely no surprise to anyone. The 5 games that are on this list: Apex Legends, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact, and Call of Duty Warzone.
And of course, I think Destiny should be on there. But again,
Moving
I'm biased. I'm very biased.
Thank you for revealing bias again.
Yeah, at least I admit to it.
Anyway, I don't care. I want to get onto this category because this caused further. This caused some issues.
Okay.
Let's say. So, best indie.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I do want to talk about that. But yes.
So this is for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system.
Which
fine. Great description of an indie title there. Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
So nominations are Loop Hero, Inscription, Death's Door, Kena or Kenna. I don't never know how to pronounce that.
I think it's Kena, but I don't know.
I've heard it as both, so I'm going to go with Kena on this one. So Kena Bridge of Spirits. And the controversial one on this list is 12 minutes.
But let's talk about why it's controversial.
Because the game's subject matter is quite problematic, apparently.
It isn't.
And also, it was not very well regarded.
Well, this is the thing. This is really what goes to the whole reason why, like, I think I'm speaking for Pete here, but Pete and I are not fans of the Game Awards.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Their nominees are rarely based in what I will say is logic and more based in connections.
Yeah,
Um,
because I don't know if anyone knows how the actual like nominations process goes, but
right.
it might be more well known than I think it is. But it's basically a nomination goes. People from various outlets across the world will nominate games in each category. They then have a judging panel that will then go through the amount of votes for each particular games and category, and then nominate as a result from that.
Yeah. Which is pretty typical of most mainstream award shows. Um,
The Oscars.
yes, exactly. Uh, so for me, the blowback on 12 minutes. Am I saying that right? 12 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Which I've only watched Let's Players, call me Kevin, play through all the multiple endings. I had to get my weekly shout out there. But I've watched all the endings, all the possibilities, and blah blah. I don't understand the blowback because it qualifies as an indie.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's not saying that it doesn't.
Right.
It's just, I
Um,
think, how badly it reviewed was the problem.
and I find it interesting that it was reviewed so badly. Not because it's a great game by any means. It does seem more like a mobile game. If you've played some of the mobile indies,
Hmm.
they are quite artistic, very just thought provoking. There's just some really good ones out there.
No, I think some of the problem with this was not to do with the fact that it was an indie game that could have been on mobile that was on console. Like, because remember, this was on Game Pass as well, so people could just play it freely.
Right.
But I think a lot of it was the obscurity of it and the fact that a lot of the things that you go around in this 12-minute loop weren't that obvious to you and how to actually break the loop.
Well, see, here's the thing.
So it was very obscurist, and I think
Here's the
I
thing.
sort of yeah, I know, I sort of liken this to an old LucasArts like point and
Well,
click game
okay,
where they were freaking
that's
obscure.
that's where I was about to say is that for me, 12 minutes is just one of my favorite genres is escape rooms.
Mm,
Not as we know them today. We're talking old flash based Japanese games
yeah,
from um I don't know,
but
2006, I guess.
mm,
When you play them on Newgrounds and stuff.
back in the Java days.
Yeah, exactly. Before it became like a mobile thing. Trying to play an
So
escape
kids,
room.
Java was a
Oh
program
gosh,
that used to run games on certain websites.
I'm so
We're
old.
old.
I'm so old now. But yes, this is well before mobile. Because I tried to play some escape rooms on mobile, and it's just not the same. But anyway,
Yeah.
point and click is what we're talking about.
Hmm.
12 minutes is definitely a point and click game. For me, I don't know. I don't get it. I think because one of the endings is quite disturbing. Well, I'd say two of the endings are quite disturbing.
No, they're all disturbing apparently.
Eh, depends on what your level of disturbing is.
Well, I'm currently looking at the image that they decided to use for the Game Awards, and it is literally a woman on the floor, face down, bound, and it's like, and then a guy like bound, like with a
Yeah,
guy on top of him, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's not a
that
great
happens
image,
regardless.
but I guess it's
That's
part of the subject matter, so
Yeah, that happens regardless. Put it this way, the guy on top of the guy who has bound also the female is a police officer, so they're under arrest.
mm. Yeah. Thanks for probably spoiling one of the biggest things in that entire game.
Oh man,
Yeah, I know, I know. Oh, I could have taken that moment to turn
so
my light on, but hey.
yeah, you could have. So now
Oh
that
well.
I'm dying,
I'm
please
just
take a
enjoying
drink.
this blue tint on my face. Stupid Game Awards website.
But oh, I do want to talk about that too. Anyway, what I was saying, what was I saying? Oh no, that's like the whole premise of the thing. So
I know I was taking the mick more than
right,
anything.
and then I nearly
Okay.
died. But
Yeah.
that was my 12 minutes up. But anyway,
Yeah.
one thing that I have mentioned before, I don't understand this constant relooping thing that's in games right now. Like It
It's an
has
in
to
thing,
come from
isn't it?
something. Yeah.
Oh well, because we've had Deathloop, we've had 12 minutes, we've had
Returnal.
Returnal.
And that other
It,
game that's in there, nominated with it, Loop Dungeon or whatever it's called.
Loop Hero.
Mm.
Yeah, there are far too many games that are involving time loops at the moment.
I
It's getting
mean,
kind of boring.
well, the thing
It's
is,
kind of like how everything started going on to zombies, and it's like
well,
that
that's
got
the thing.
boring.
You can kind of see what's going on with society by their pop media entertainment
Oh, the
subjects.
trends, yeah.
And zombies have been popular for so long, and they kind of, you can read papers about why that is. So now we're on this loop thing, and I'm just curious, like, is everyone just regretting like decisions of their past, and they're imagining going back and fixing things? I don't know. I don't know why this
Well,
relooping thing is so big.
well, if you look at the way of society, especially as how it comes onto social media, where people go back into posts from 10 years ago,
Ugh, maybe
and
you're
delete
right.
them, I think that's the problem. We're now in a society where we're going back and judging people based on behavior from 10 years ago.
That could be intertwined. I'm very curious about this. I want to read some papers. Pete, go turn your light on, and then we'll go to the next one.
Yeah, it's getting annoying, to be honest.
Pete's nearly sitting in total
Hey,
darkness. Light. There you go. Which, for our audio listeners, is fine. Yeah, let there be light. But, our poor streamers, of which there are 3, and 2 of them are me and Pete, and 1 of them is Brent.
Yeah, I'm watching myself, and it is terrible. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, it was getting darker and darker.
I was trying to have a break in a moment where I could turn it on without affecting the audio, but
then I started
no way
choking,
that can happen.
And instead of getting up and turning your light on, you just sat there.
That would be funny, actually, but the visual viewers will be able to see that, of course.
Yes,
so.
of course.
But
Over
anyway,
at
we won't go any more.
twitch.tv/rapid reviews.
Yeah, we won't go on more about the indie titles on this one.
Yeah, because we're running out of time, and I'm
if I'm honest, I hate to say it, it's probably going to be Kena, isn't it? Because of the fact
it has to be.
It was on PlayStation.
It has to be.
Mostly it's console exclusive, so.
Well, and it's just been talked about for so long.
Yeah, but then a lot of people will turn around and go, hold on a minute, like, Death's Door is apparently an incredible game. It's getting a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah, but there's one thing our viewers and listeners need to know. These Game Awards, all award shows, but particularly the Game Awards, they don't choose games based on merit.
No, not usually.
And they don't choose games based on audience love.
No, it's mostly a popularity contest, isn't it?
Among the insiders, yes. For us as the audience, I think they give us one award, which is like audience choice or something like that, people's choice.
Yeah.
And of course, what was it? Who won last year? I don't remember.
What game? What, the game of the year?
No, not game of the year. The people's choice one, because game of the year was
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, because I remember it beat out Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, see,
and Neil Druckmann was going on like a massive Twitter thing 24 hours before saying, please vote for our game.
I know. Because he couldn't control it. Anyway, that's personal feelings aside. Yes, continue on, because we're going to run out of time.
I was going to cover Games for Impact, but Jesus, that looks awful as a category.
What does that
I'm not
even
even touching that. Exactly my point. I'm not even touching that one, because it makes no sense. So, all right, let's go on to some of the more controversial ones, shall we?
Yes.
Because we all know what we've been waiting for, haven't we?
Yes.
We all know it. And where is the goddamn category for it? Oh, there it is. There it is. So, let me just read these nominations out to you. And I know you already know, what category it's in.
But go for it, yes.
But the nominations for this particular category are Tales of Arise, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Scarlet Nexus, Monster Hunter Rise. Now that looks like a really good category so far, doesn't it?
Sure.
Then you got Cyberpunk 2077 on it.
Yeah.
For best role-playing game.
None of those really... Okay, Genshin, yes, 100%.
Genshin's not on that list.
I thought Genshin was on that list.
Tales of Arise, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Scarlet Nexus, Monster Hunter Rise, Cyberpunk 2077.
I was getting Genshin mixed with Scarlet Hunter. I blame Nana for that.
Yes.
Because he posts about both and it gets twisted in my
Yeah,
head.
to which I have started downloading Scarlet Nexus ready for the Game of the Year show.
Oh, very good, very good. Because I would like your thoughts on that. Those are not. None of those are really your typical RPGs. Fine. Okay, we want to be.
Yes,
a
they
little
are.
brave and
There
different.
is one on there that is a very typical RPG, of two actually.
Okay.
Tales of Arise and Shin Megami Tensei 5. Tales of Arise is from a massively well-known series, the Tales of series.
Yeah.
That's got a big fan base, surprisingly, but the quality of games in the last couple of outputs from, I can only go by what Cold Death from Caffeinated Bantercast was saying before when I was a guest on there. The last couple of games have been a bit stinky, and this one is great. So,
well, that's good.
Him as a Tales fan would tell you that,
yeah,
that this is a fantastic like entry into that series. Now, from everyone that I've spoken to about Shin Megami Tensei 5, is singing its praises like massively, like as a traditional RPG, but it was hindered by the fact that stupid IGN review that kept mentioning Persona in it without realizing that Persona is a spin-off series to Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
So someone didn't do their research.
That's like them doing
absolute crap.
What's this whole? I know this is a tangent, and we're totally not going to explore this because I'm getting so tired. But what's with this comparing Halo Infinite to Breath of the Wild? We'll talk about that next week. Next week.
No, we've got to do that next.
Yes.
We're doing that next week. Don't you worry about that.
Yes, we have to talk about that. I know Kieran's not going to watch this, but if you do, take note of it for next week.
No, trust me. I will talk to you more about this after we finish today, but I have a plan for it because it seems to be that we coincidentally that the gameplay impressions are coming out for the for the single player, and it was I wanted to cover that too because some of the stuff on there has been absolute crap too.
Oh, I'm just can't wait.
So
tune in next week. It's going to be a great episode.
Yeah. But carry on listening to this one first, please.
That too.
So, because look, I'll be honest here. I want to ask you the most honest of questions, despite the fact that you probably still haven't played Cyberpunk yet.
I played a few minutes of it. I played a few minutes of it. I haven't took a screenshot.
Fine. Is it an RPG though?
It's an RPG in the way that Fallout 3 is an RPG, which is
light.
Yes, RPG light. Where it's like a FPS with a little bit of RPG elements in it.
Yeah, I can see that because it's very clear to see that a lot of the stats-based game mechanics in there are very much based on the original pen and paper role-playing game. And that's all. That's the only RPG in that. Aside from character creation. And character creation was a bit of a letdown in that game, if I'm honest.
I mean, it is to me. But for people who don't know my personal life, I have a new assistant in my professional business. And that new assistant they're very young, so I can't talk about them too much. But they're absolutely crazy over Cyberpunk.
Really?
Yes. Like
what Cyberpunk? What the game? Or
no,
yeah, because you can obviously talk about the genre Cyberpunk, can't you?
Oh, right. Yes, you're right. Which I do love the genre of.
So do I. But the game is absolute trash.
Let me give a book recommendation. Not that anybody ever reads anymore, but there is a whole Cyberpunk series, like Cyberpunk as in the genre, called the Scion series, Psion. By Joan Lowry Nixon, I believe.
Funnily enough, I've actually heard of that one.
Joan DeVinge. Sorry, Joan DeVinge.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Surprisingly enough, as a non-book reader, even I've heard of that.
Yeah, it comprises of Scion, Cat's Paw, and something else. It is, for me, is the epitome of Cyberpunk. Oof.
Okay. And if you don't like reading, then I could recommend a couple of really good Cyberpunk related games that are coming out on the Switch next year in the form of a re-release, and it's a Shadowrun trilogy. Crack on those when they come out. They're cracking. Yes. They're so good.
But so going back to this, it is weird to me, and again, this could be an age thing, because this person I'm talking about is under 18. Um, Cyberpunk doesn't hold anything for me. There's nothing
No.
new there. The bugs are pretty bad. It's just, I don't know, it's very generic feeling.
Yeah. But
But for this person, it's beautiful, perfect. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
fine. I can look. I can understand in some respects why people would really love the game in that, because there were elements of the game that I did really really like. I'm not saying it's a
Right.
completely trash experience
Oh
from my
no,
side of things.
not at
Like
all. It's just very
the
generic
first
for me.
the first 5 hours of what I played, bugs aside,
Yeah.
crashing aside, reloading saves aside, narratives wise, wasn't too bad.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. It's just performance wise on everything else, it was terrible.
I didn't
And the fact that CD Projekt Red lied about it made it even worse.
exactly. And it didn't even bring anything new to the table. For all of
Now
the stuff. What? Okay, go ahead.
but that's the thing. I wasn't looking for anything new. I was looking for something to
Oh,
invest me in a
I
world,
agree. Mm-hmm.
you know, because that's what they were building up the most. They were building up this
Well,
incredible world, this lore that they had throughout. And I was really looking forward to running around in Night City, but Night City was set in the daytime.
yep. With
Sorry, that was a really bad analogy, I know.
it was
Yeah, it's
very bad.
okay. Let me try this in a slightly different way then. It's like going to Amsterdam and going down the red light district during the
Oh my
daytime.
gosh. Oh
It's
yeah.
that bad.
Oh, and Pete does have stories. Let me tell you. But
Look, I think anyone who's been to Amsterdam, has been to the red light district, will tell you that don't go in the daytime.
I want
Don't go in the daytime.
I want to
It's where you,
travel so
yeah,
bad. Oh, that's where one of my places I want to go is Amsterdam.
nice.
Um,
Uh,
but
yeah.
anyway,
So
we've got to not wrap this
I
up,
know.
but you know what I mean. Yeah.
I know. So it's yeah. I just brought that up mainly because an unfinished and broken game that everyone absolutely hated and got taken off the stores, or taken off the PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
Refunds were
Well,
given by
that's the
CD Projekt Red
thing.
and retailers. Yet it's still nominated for an award at the Game Awards.
I mean,
Wait,
that's
nominated for 2 awards
yeah. And
for
Forza
music as well. Yeah.
and Forza, which is really what I
We're
want to
getting
talk
to.
about.
I think
Okay.
we're getting to that. I think
Okay.
we're getting to that. So
Okay. I'll sit
don't
on that.
screw the pooch on that one. Yeah, so I'm not going to cover best score in music because Cyberpunk was in there,
Oh
and
gosh.
that's kind of a joke.
But see, this
I
person is crazy about the music of Cyberpunk.
I know, and funnily enough, like the Modern Escapism podcast recently just had the guy who created a lot of the music, Ross, on their
Right?
show, and he
Right.
speaks very highly about it, obviously.
Right.
And I'm not saying that the music is bad. It's just it's the
Everything's so
it's the
generic to me.
reputation that Cyberpunk has. It was why
Yeah.
people are slapping this down so badly.
Well, they played
So
it. This person played it while we were working on Friday. They were like, "Oh, you
yeah,
gotta hear this. This is the in-game band." Again, remember, I haven't made it that far yet.
yeah,
And doesn't it really slap and all this kind of stuff? And it was like, it was nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and
mm,
be like, "Oh no, it was terrible." Um, but it didn't. Like again, there's just nothing that excites me. There's nothing new there, and maybe
yeah,
that's an age thing. But
sure. I think it probably is as well, but I can understand because the one time that I did see it in action was where you first meet Johnny Silverhand for the first time,
right,
and he plays with his band, and it is good to be fair.
right, yeah,
So, um, right, I'm going on to next category, which is best performance.
yeah.
Now,
What
I'm
does
bringing this
that mean?
category up because I like a good performance in a game.
What does that mean? Are we
So
talking about console? Are we talking about what are we talking about here?
that's what I was curious about at first, and I was like, "What?" Now
Right.
it makes more sense when it says awarded to an individual for voiceover, acting, motion, and/or performance capture.
Oh, that changes things.
Yeah. So we have Erica Mori as Alex Chen in Life is Strange: True Colors.
Which will win it.
Giancarlo Esposito as Anton Castillo in Far Cry 6.
I wouldn't be
No
surprised.
surprises there.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did win it, but I really think Life is Strange will get it.
No, I think there are 3 others on this list that could take it. And
I know who I want to win it, but that's, again, just a personal bias.
I know, and as soon as I say it, I know what's going to happen. So we've got Jason Kelly as Cole Valin from Deathloop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to butcher this so badly. I hate myself for this.
Well, it happens.
Ozioma Akagaya.
Yeah, sure.
Apologies. As Juliana Blake from Deathloop as well. So
Yeah.
those are the 2 main stars.
Mm-hmm.
And from every trailer, yeah, they knocked it out of the park.
Oh,
with that
definitely.
One,
I agree with that.
but I think this is your winner. If it's not Giancarlo Esposito, because Game Awards obviously promoted the hell out of Far Cry 6 so much.
That's for sure.
I think the winner is Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village, because
personal choice.
nobody has set the internet on fire like Lady Dimitrescu.
And she does. She really embodies the character so well.
The funny thing is, I see her picture, right, and she's like quite a nice looking lady, to be fair. Not that that matters, but she looks so different from what Dimitrescu is, and it's quite confusing to me.
That's the wonderful thing about voice actors. I love it. Watching their characters compared to what they look like.
But it's also the fact that it's motion capture as well, so...
What I have found, speaking of that, what I have found, especially with Halo Infinite, and we will talk about this next week, is, for me, I've said this many times, my special interest, which is an autistic phrasing for things that you become obsessive about, but as a child, was voice actors. I still have an interest in them, but it's not like it was then.
Sure.
And what I'm finding now with modern games is that it's not just voice actors delivering the character. It's also motion capture, which can be completely different. Not always, but it's completely different from the voice actor, because you still got like Nolan North and what's his face. They will sometimes do their motion capture. Oh, and what's his face from Red Dead? I can never remember his name, but I love him.
God, why Roger Clark?
Thank you.
I know. I always stumble over it until I'm put on the spot. It's annoying. It's so annoying.
And he's very adamant, and I support him in this. But he's very adamant that he is not called a voice actor.
No, he's an actor.
Yeah, an actor or motion capture artist. Which I get that. Like, I get it now.
Oh yeah, because games are like focusing very heavily on the motion capture side of things now. That I don't think they're just voice actors anymore.
And I think, and again, we'll explore this next week, but I think Master Chief is kind of different because you can't see his face. His voice has to be his emotive thing, and Steve Downes does that so well. But the motion capture artist is completely different from Steve Downes.
Sure, but it's kind of in a similar vein as it is in a Hollywood movie, where you have animated films where you do mostly voice work. So you'd have VA artists, obviously, or VA actors, but then you've got people like Tom Hardy, who. Yes, okay, from last week's show, yes, I'm a big fan of Tom Hardy.
Yes, he is.
But, it was the fact that I bring this up, that there aren't many people who have got the wherewithal and the talent to intimidate using only your eyes.
Right.
And he is one of those people that has that intimidation. So Steve Downes is a perfect example of how a voice can be iconic, memorable, and fantastic.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
transformative.
But this reminds me of a discussion, and I'll be very, very brief here, that I have a friend who used to run a film review podcast, and one film that he brought up was the Benjamin Button film.
Oh, wow, okay, that film didn't age well, but hey.
Do what?
That film didn't age well, but hey.
I haven't seen... Oh, that's funny. An intentional pun. But I have not seen it. Well, basically I haven't seen the entire film, but I did, review these performances to be able to talk on the subject. But the point of contention was, so Brad Pitt did, obviously, the voice work. Mm-hmm. But until certain scenes, most of that was motion capture.
It was.
I think Andy Serkis or that type of
Wouldn't
things.
surprise me if it was Andy Serkis.
Yeah, and I think Brad Pitt was nominated for the Oscar
I'm sure
Academy
he was.
Award.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember if he won or not, but I think he was nominated for it. I doubt he won. I would have remembered that. Maybe, I don't know. Point being, he was nominated, and the discussion was, did he deserve that? Because the performance wasn't him.
No, for the most part, it really wasn't.
And you're really starting to see that now in games. So I do hope that they expand their horizons a bit within the coming years. Yeah.
Okay, so last 3 categories, and these are the bigger ones. So we'll cover these pretty briefly because a lot of those will have bleed over into other categories. So, best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. So we had Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange: True Colors, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Psychonauts 2. Now, I know at the early part of the year, It Takes Two had a lot of people talking about it, but I don't hear anyone talking about it. Didn't hear anyone talking about it after it came out until now, where everyone's talking about this being a fantastic game.
Right.
That
Which
they're surprised that people have nominated.
Right.
Which is interesting, to say the least, because as someone who hasn't played it yet, I say yet, we'll get to that.
That's mostly my fault, by the way.
Yeah, well, it is kind of mine too, because I did say to you the intention was to try and stream it, but now we've got to put that on the back burner ready for Game of the Year. So,
and now I've decided to have Thanksgiving. What the frick is wrong with me?
Yeah, you've really stuffed that one up, didn't you?
4 a.m. and I went, oh, I'll have Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Yes, you did. But going back to It Takes Two, from what I've seen of it, the game looks so cool. It looks so good. I think this was the biggest surprise for me, actually, in terms of Game Awards nominations. And from what I've seen of the first hour of the game when I watched it, when I finally went, yeah, I'm not watching anymore because I really want to bloody play this.
Right.
Yeah, I think this is thoroughly deserved. And, the fact that the Game Awards absolutely loves Joseph Fares as well for his outburst as well means that he's a bit of a darling now. So he could take one of these awards as a result of it.
I could get behind that, and I feel bad because I haven't played it, obviously.
No, but we will. We will soon.
We will. I promise we will.
If you manage to stay awake tonight, then we could try.
I don't think I'm going to stay awake tonight. I'm pretty sure as soon as I say bye, I'm going to crash.
Okay, tomorrow night then. We'll do it.
Yeah. What's tomorrow? Monday? Yeah.
Monday.
I don't have gym. So, yeah. Why
not?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's do it.
We should be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of the other games on this list, I know Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy was something that was interesting to you.
I really want to play that. I just... Okay, for the first time... I'm not going to say the first time. But for the first time in a long time, I don't have time to play a game. Me!
I know. It's rare.
I mean, I literally...
Live her alone.
Live her alone.
No, it's a line from Scream.
Oh my goodness. Which is just watched. But anyway, no, I'm not going to get sidetracked. My point being... what was my point? Oh, I normally like work and then play video games. That's it. That's my life. That's all my life. Well, work, video games, gym. That's it. I don't do anything outside.
But now it's work, gym, video games. It's like video games are now bottom of the list, right?
Video games, have dropped to the bottom. So I'm like actually starting to feel that thing that other people complain about not having time.
The whole backlog issue?
The backlog, not having time. Before I'd be like, what? Like, just
what backlog? I don't have a backlog when my backlog consists of 2 games.
I go like, I want to play this game, and then I play it. What is wrong with you? Now I'm like, wait, I'm running out of time. Yeah. Especially if it's multiplayer games.
Yeah. And that's another thing, actually. I forgot that Psychonauts 2 was on Game Pass, so I'm going to download that and hope for the Game of the Year show as well. So I need to play that too.
Oh my gosh, I've got to play that too. I love Psychonauts because I love the humor.
I've never played the original. Never played it.
I think
it was an original Xbox, wasn't it? So I never got around because I never owned the original Xbox.
Yeah, but I think it was reissued. issued. It's hard for me to know because everything blends together. Before
I know, yeah.
and now my Xbone games are starting to blend in with my Xbox X.
Your series games, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, thanks Game Awards for reminding me of more games that I need to play in my limited time before the end of the year. Thank you very much. Anyway, so yeah, we'll get on to the next category,
Should I finish
which
this
was
wine
Best
or
Game
not?
Direction.
I
So,
think that's a
awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Deathloop, It Takes Two, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Returnal.
Okay, Returnal should die in fire. But the others I think are actually worthy contenders, if I'm honest.
Why do you think Returnal should die in a fire for this?
Because Returnal oversold itself. I knew it did. I said it when we watched the reveal thing, that Sony thing, showcase.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it's a dumb name, and I resent it for its dumb name.
And also, you don't like old middle-aged women in video games,
well,
clearly.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I'm
No,
so
that's that.
anti-woke.
I joke. That comes down to the reveal trailer thing when we were talking about it, and you were like, why would they put a middle-aged woman in this? And you're like, okay.
I was confused, but
it
only
was a bit strange in terms of the direction there.
Only because I do know. Oh gosh, this makes me sound up my own ass, but I don't care. I do know what it takes to be an astronaut, as it is.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted to be so badly, so I was confused.
Yeah, and it's kind of a similar thing to Armageddon. Is why would you send a bunch of drillers up to space?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy Armageddon as fluff.
No, go away. Armageddon's a pile of crap.
No, I enjoy it, but I enjoy it because I know it's a pile of crap. Oh my gosh, Pete, it's so
or at
cheesy.
least just
it's so cheesy. He puts the little animal crackers on her belly.
Fine. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate its utter crap cheesiness. Like, I do get that. Like, so at least you're honest about it, and I am as well. But it is an objectively terrible movie.
It is okay. It's a god awful movie.
That's why I said objectively terrible. It's terrible.
I have a list of bad movies that I love to watch. Moulin Rouge kind of skirts the edge of whether it's a bad or good movie. I can't quite tell.
It's a bad movie.
I flip back and forth, but I mean, The Room is on there. Armageddon's on there.
Yeah, but The Room is a classic, bad movie. Yeah. You know. Anyway, moving on. That's tangent aside. So, yeah, I think Returnal could take this, if I'm honest, because I think a lot of the critics were so enamored with it.
Well, they were until it came out, and then they were like, "Oh, we were oversold." And the graphics.
No, but now that they've actually made some changes, they've managed to update some of the mechanics to it, and the fact that you can now save mid-run as well, which helps. So I think this will be the thing that pushes it over the edge.
That will be interesting to see. I'm on board to see what happens.
Okay, well, final category, which was the big one, the biggest one, of course. Game of the Year. Recognising a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields.
Game recognized game.
Is it? Is there any game on here that you couldn't have predicted? No.
Yeah.
Wait, actually one. Just one. And that's It Takes Two. I'm so surprised that it made it to the actual Game of the Year as well.
And now I'm surprised that you're surprised.
No, because I thought because of how early in the year it came that people would forget about it.
Oh, right. Yeah, but by the same exact opposite token, it's a good point, Forza did not make it.
And that is absolute tragedy, to be fair. Like, I think it being relegated to best racing as sport is such an unbelievable joke. It's such a joke.
Here's the thing.
The only thing... Sorry, let me just finish the point, because I wanted to raise this in our group, but I specifically saved it for this point, was that the only reason why I think it may not have been nominated was the amount of time that they probably had between voting and the game coming out. So it maybe didn't leave enough of an impact like everyone probably thought it did. But the fact of the matter is that Metroid Dread only came out at the end of last month, and it's on this list too.
Right.
So it's, I
Well,
mean, admittedly shorter experience, but you know what you're getting with Forza
uh,
Horizon 5 within the first couple of hours of playing it.
well,
It's
that's
an
the thing.
open world racing game with lots of map markers and plenty to do.
Well, I mean,
It's visually stunning and it runs like an absolute dream, even on previous gen consoles.
well,
Surely that is enough to put it in the Game of the Year discussion.
the thing is, what is the thing? There is actually a whole thread on Twitter. I'm really getting tired. I am trying to.
I know, this is the last one, don't worry.
But there's a whole thread on Twitter with one of the guys that is on the judging panel, and I meant to save it for today's discussion. Again, apologies, but the steam is just.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he can't believe all the backlash they've received and all this kind of stuff. But once you read into it, you can see there is some kind of bias. Or let me change that. I get the impression that there is some kind of bias towards Forza. And I don't understand that.
That's the thing, is I don't think it's just bias against Forza. I think it's bias against racing games being, quote, Game of the Year.
Right.
Because there are very, very few instances with both the Game Awards, what they were originally, which was the VGAs, and any other award show like the BAFTA Game Awards that we have over here,
right?
The DICE Awards, stuff like that, barely nominate racing games at all for Game of the Year. They're always relegated to a subsection, and I don't know why. Because surely, if the end user experience is enjoyment, it should be right to be nominated for the category.
Pete, let me ask you then. Do you think all of these award shows, and I mean all of them, are a kind of blowback against the whole FIFA and other COD culture? Because, let's admit it, they're very rarely nominated, FIFA and COD. They are nominated, but it's very rarely.
Not for Game of the Year, they're not, but they're always in a category, and they always tend to win.
They're given a kind of category. Yeah, but it's almost like a, you know.
It's like, oh yeah, like best sports, you know.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Yeah. FIFA's over there. All right, off
because,
you go. You know.
I mean, they know that the people that watch the Game Awards aren't going to be the FIFA, and by Game Awards I mean all, not specifically.
Yeah, I know, like the mentions of like BAFTA, VGA,
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I get what you mean.
They know that's not going to be the FIFA players and the COD audience. The majority, there are going to be some overlap, but so is this almost a kind of revenge? Because I think players do, even though there is overlap, players do tend to fall into the category of, you know, FIFA, COD, Fortnite, old-timey Halo multiplayer, not so much now, but the old-timey one. You know, and then your dedicated players.
Yeah.
I wonder. Is it a click?
Don't know if that... I really don't know if that's just the case, to be honest. I don't know if there's like an industry bias against racing games. I don't know if there's like a lack of understanding of what the gamers actually do want to see, and based on what I've been seeing the last couple of days since these nominations have come out, everyone who has an Xbox or at least has seen someone playing Forza has gone, Jesus Christ, that game is fantastic. Oh. It's incredible, and it deserves to be on a Game of the Year list.
Yeah, but you know, kind of adding a little bit more to this discussion. Well, it was last week. Kieran brought up. Well, he messaged us in the chat, but then we talked about it on the show. The list of PlayStation, you know, most played games or something like that.
Yeah. We discussed that actually as part of the news, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. And it just seems like, I don't know, it just seems to me, okay, I'll just be honest. It just seems to me like a blatant disregard of Forza. It just seems like a...
Yeah, it'll be... I think it'll be really interesting. Okay.
Brent has actually said something about that, so Pete, if you want to...
I'll get onto that in a second. I just want one closing point on this one, and then we're going to obviously pick what we think out of this list will be the Game of the Year. But it'll be interesting to see next year, actually, when we have a couple more different racing games that come out.
Right.
Gran Turismo being the biggest one out of them, probably.
Oh yeah.
Who knows whether or not we're getting Forza Motorsport next year or 2023? We'll wait and see on that one. But if Gran Turismo gets nominated for Game of the Year, but Forza doesn't, I
There's
think
a
it will tell how
bias.
much bias there is against Microsoft
Yeah.
in terms of Sony.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I think this is another one of our moments where we need to notate it for the future because I
Sure.
have to agree with you.
So, okay, out of these 6 games, so Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, because I didn't actually give the nominations before.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. Which of those would you choose?
Would I choose, or do I who I think is going to win?
Well, what would... Okay, two-pronged question. What would you choose, and what do you think the critics are going to choose?
Okay, for me, it would be a pretty good tie between Ratchet and Clank and Resident Evil Village, because specifically because of the hardware
Sure.
aspects of it. Ratchet and Clank, for all of its, being I think someone said it was about a 6-hour game.
It was Deadbeat Punk, I think, who said it last week, who said it was
Oh,
about an
okay.
8-hour game.
Okay. It's uses the whole, just everything to its best of its ability, and I have to. I mean, technically, if we're talking technically, I love that, but I think 100% there it's going to be Deathloop, because, well, I'm not. I just think that Deathloop hits all of the criteria that they are looking for.
Well-made game that was in the public eye for a long period of time. Helped sell
Microsoft
systems
Bethesda. Yep.
helped sell systems with the PlayStation 5 and the bias towards Sony more so. Yeah,
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Exactly.
fine. I can see it.
So my vote is definitely Deathloop's going to be the one. But anyway, yes, Pete, I would like to know yours.
Now this is hard because I've only played one game on this list so far, and that's
Right.
Metroid Dread, and it didn't click with me at all.
Right.
It did not click with me.
Wow.
But this is what I was saying to Deadbeat Punk last week, I think before we went live, is the fact that I'm not the biggest Metroidvania fan.
Right.
So trying to play a Metroidvania game is like pulling teeth for me. It's not
Right.
not my idea of fun.
You said you hadn't played Metroid before.
Yeah,
That's
it was my first
right.
Metroid game, and I wasn't blown away by
Which
it.
was
But then
shocking
again,
to me, but I love Metroid.
But I'm also one of those sorts of people that played Symphony of the Night back in the day and put it down because I didn't like it.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I understand it. No,
Okay.
I understand the merits. It's the constant backtracking, like, through a tight area. Metroidvania's just never been my thing.
Right.
So, now, what I think is probably going to take this is Ratchet and Clank.
Right. Okay.
I think it was the showcase for the PlayStation,
It was,
its hardware,
100%.
the SSD, and the fact that you had this simultaneous loading of like other worlds that apparently now has been debunked as being quite the marketing load of guff that they would, they might have been feeding people, but it was a short experience. So I think most of the critics would have played it, and I think a lot of them loved it. So I think it's probably going to go to Ratchet and Clank, but if a lot of people that I've spoken to had their way, it would be Deathloop, because I've heard nothing but good things from the gamers about how good Deathloop is.
Yep.
Except its ending, which is key,
Right.
because it's
Yeah.
a time loop game. If you
Exactly.
you bunk your ending, then you kind of lost something there, which is kind of sucky.
Right.
But yeah, I think like if I was choosing, I would choose Deathloop. But
Right,
I
okay.
think with the critics' choice, it will be Ratchet.
Very good. Okay, so we're kind of weirdly switched on that. Our
Yeah,
personal choice
but,
would be Ratchet and Clank, but
Yeah, Brent did
definitely
say
agree.
the cutoff was November 19th. Forza Horizon 5 made the cutoff by about a week.
I think
That's not-
that some of those voters, though, because it's a panel, would have gotten the game earlier.
Yeah, they would have had the early access code, so there's no excuse.
I just can't shake the feeling, and again, I could be completely wrong. I often am. But I can't shake the feeling there is some kind of weird bias against Forza.
I really do think there is as well.
Also, I love that controller. And Brent, have you got the controller yet? I knew it was like you're about
no,
to
he
get
did
it.
say he had it.
Oh, he did say, okay.
Last week he has it, yeah.
I knew you were getting it. I couldn't remember if you actually got it. Is it as beautiful in person as it is on screen?
Oh, I'm sure it probably is as well, but like I said, it's not. It wasn't for me.
I think I'm gonna have to wait till someone gets tired of it and throws it up on like eBay or something.
Yeah.
Or over at like Cash Converters or something.
Yeah, and that's the time when you pounce.
I haven't been to Cash Converters in 2 years. I just need to go over there and just buy up the store.
You might as well just buy stock in Cash Converters then.
I should. I legit should. Oh my gosh.
Right, let's wrap this show up before you go on a mad rant about Cash Converters.
Oh wait, Brent does say I like the controller and the content it came with, so that's good.
Yeah, well that's saying it. He likes Forza Horizon 5, so good.
I still don't know if I could justify the price, but that's because I'm a cheapskate. I mean, I shop at Cash Converters.
What the price of the controller?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you can't argue with the price of the game.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the price
no,
of
it's
the game
Pass, yeah. No, I mean, but think about it. I'm a person who just paid more taxes than most people make in a year, and I shop at Cash Converters. That tells you I am quite the
cheapskate,
skinflint, cheapskate, whatever, frugal. My aunt says, "Oh no, Kylie, you're frugal." So.
Most would probably say that you have a tight grip on your purse strings.
I do, unless it's for an impromptu Thanksgiving, and I went over to Fortnum and Mason's and bought out the postcard.
Or either that, or it's a ludicrous amount of money spent on a Versace mug.
Or that too.
Or a pair of solid gold aviators.
I love my aviators from Tiffany's, by the way. But
you are helping your case.
Nothing can be said about quality. Quality is the reason I do anything.
Please, just wrap this show up before you make yourself look more stupid.
I know, it's terrible. It's really terrible. But anyway, thank you so much for joining this very brief quickie.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Literally.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with quickies. They're needed too. But
they're just so impersonal.
No, quickies with your love.
I'm joking.
Anyway, yes.
I suppose then it's necessary.
It can be, yes. It makes your day go better. Anyway, so we hope this makes your day go better. That's a little quickie in your ears. You told me to wrap it up. I am very tired.
Oh my god, I've just realised you've made an inverted pun there as well.
Oh, did I? Oh dear.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay, so we might see you tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to be streaming it, but...
Probably not, no.
Okay, probably not, but we're going to do It Takes Two at some point, like stream it, but we definitely need to play it. Right now, I just want to sleep and crawl in my bed.
Yeah, I can tell by that hugging of the pillow that you're doing.
So tired.
Come on! Stay on point. It's just 30 seconds more.
Thanks for joining us over at twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. And I remembered it.
Brilliant.
We appreciate you giving us your time and attention because you could give it to anyone. And you choose to give it to us. And that means the frickin' world. And that's not even a joke. Pete, where can they find you out there in Never Neverland?
You can find me on the interwebs, Twitter at Pete Beckett1, spelled BECKETT, and the number 1, where I mostly do some ranting about video games, sometimes about football as well. Yeah. And most of the time just winding people up. I
don't know what Ole is, but I keep seeing it, and then you...
What, you mean Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the Man United manager, who got fired this morning?
Yeah, that! Do you not call it Ole? O-L-E?
No, because he's Norwegian, so it's Ole.
That breaks my Tex-Mex brain. I've been reading it as Ole this whole time.
No, because he doesn't have the apostrophe above the E, so no.
Right, okay.
So where can they find you for random asides like that?
Yes. Yeah, because it's definitely random. I was gonna like give Kieran.
Oh, come on, you've ruined a good segue for... Get on with it.
What? My randomness, which is rarely about video games because I talk about them here. Except, what was I gonna post earlier today? Call Me Kevin was doing something. GTA, the definitive edition. He's been playing San Andreas. Holy crap, that's terrible.
I know. We talked about this last week, so let's not talk about it
but
again.
it's
Come
like
on, let's wrap.
Even worse. But yes, you can find me over at Kiley to Greet, which is KILEYTEHGREET. I remembered.
And thanks for that ASMR shout out there. Thank you very much.
You know who that was for.
That's
but
for you to go to sleep.
For you, the listener, not so much our visual viewer. I say our visual listeners. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired.
Let's call it a night and let's go.
I was doing something.
We will see you next week.
All my makeup is off one eye.
Yeah. Okay. We will see you next week. Thanks for listening.
We will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Later.
Okay.
God damn it, you can't close a show.
I can't. That ends the podcast part. Brent's our viewer. Brent is playing
I know. Forza. Good.
I want to call it Verizon, but Verizon is not proper.
Now, I've heard, and I need clarification on this because I'm not sure. I've heard people calling it Forza, and I've heard people calling it Forza.
Oh, there was a whole discussion about that because there's like an Italian way or something to pronounce it.
I know, and I'm so confused about its actual pronunciation because I don't think I've ever heard a dev saying it.
Yeah, we do need clarification on that because I thought Forza, but there were definitely some people going, oh no, it's Forza, but...
Yeah, because I was listening to it on the computer game show this week where they had someone from Giant Bomb on, and she kept saying Forza. And she kept getting annoyed, or kind of annoyed, at the rest of the other guys saying Forza. It's like Forza. It's like, and then eventually, like after a while, they changed it, and then some of them would be saying Forza, some of them would say Forza, and it's like, someone please clarify this for me. I am so confused.
I will just say car driving game set in Mexico. There you go.
Brent says apparently it's supposed to be Forza, but nobody says that in English.
Oh.
The T is silent.
I do wonder why didn't I just put a T in there?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna actually wrap it up pretty quick because I'm not kidding. I could go to sleep on stream right now.
I know you could, so we're gonna close this out before you actually do fall asleep.
I can't believe all the makeup came off of one eye. Because when I was choking to death, it teared up.
Yeah, I know. I could see that. Yeah, that's the problem with, Yeah.
Okay.
The joys of being a guy and not having to worry.
I know. It sucks. See, here's the thing.
Oh, soapbox moment. All right. We've got one at least.
Yeah, I'll do this one and then we'll close the show. But,
Sure.
okay, so I haven't been, before the lockdowns, before pandemic, all COVID, everything, I used to go to a lot of parties. Now, I'm not what you call a party girl. I just like
hound. Party hound.
I just like going to parties. And I like, hosting things and stuff. But then I go off into the corner and talk to the nerds about, Game of Thrones. That is legit what I do. But...
When Game of Thrones was actually relevant and good.
Well, that shows you how long ago it's been since I've been to a party.
And you obviously got away with the fact that I called Game of Thrones trash there. So.
Well, I mean, I can't deny. They destroyed my heart. They destroyed my soul.
I don't care. I think people are now realizing Game of Thrones was never good.
No, it was always good until something happened in season 6. But what was this?
So good.
I miss parties. I do. I'm not like the world's most social person, but I enjoy the festivities. So, and usually I have about, 4 to 5, it can go up to at least 7 parties in the holidays.
Okay.
Because Belfast, I don't know about the rest of the world, but Belfast is a Christmas party place.
Oh, they love a party over
They
there.
love a party. And it's like, okay. And then I'm like, you stop your car long enough, I'll jump in and go on an adventure. So I haven't been to a party in 2 years. Well, my gym has decided to have a party, and I'm like super excited.
Yay.
I'm very excited. I don't remember the whole original point of this, but the point is I bought a pretty dress and I'm really excited.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, that's really the only thing I really wanted to mention. I don't remember why I brought it up.
So basically, you've had 2 minutes of guff of probably one of the worst payouts of all time.
Probably. But I love my dress. It's awesome. And I will post pictures. I don't know why. Because the difference between men and women. That was it.
Yeah, okay.
Because you were like, oh my God, I have to worry. See, I have to worry. I have to look for a dress. I usually buy 3 or 4 to choose from. And I do buy them because
And then you return the other 3.
Yeah, sometimes I just keep
No,
them.
that's what
But if they're
quite
terrible,
a lot of people do.
Yeah, I return them. Then I have to get the proper makeup, the proper foundation garments. Oh, do you even know what foundation garments are? Probably
Yes,
not.
I actually do.
Well, yeah, but you got a girlfriend, practically a wife.
That's how I know.
Yeah, exactly. Some people out there don't know that women have to wear all these contraptions underneath to make it look like they're wearing nothing. So I had to get...
Some don't have to. They choose to just go with the old natural look.
Oh, whatever. If I walked up in there with, like, big old hangy boobs, they'd be like...
Let me tell you now what Rachel decides to do
Uh-huh.
as her makeup experience.
Okay, because I'll go, yep, that's it.
Mascara. That's all.
Oh, come on. No, that's what you know.
No, I do know, because I've seen her getting ready for nights out.
Oh, my goodness.
That she goes all natural look.
That's actually really cool. I have to respect that. Mass respect, Rachel. Mass respect.
Yeah, because
I
think I guess at this point she's got a partner for life and she's now has given up caring. So
that's it. See, I want someone that's gonna be like, "Are you really going out in that? You're supposed to look. You need to look amazing to make me look amazing." See, I want that.
Wrong. Don't need to. I know that I look like a polished turd half the time, so she brings me up.
Well, but see, I love that. I love that y'all, you have that. But the point being, I have to, like, get all of this crap in line for one party. One party.
And that's just one.
And that's just one. And that's the only one I'm doing this year, except for, like, my own personal ones, which I don't care as much. So I have to get all of my makeup right, see if I'm going to wear fake lashes. I don't think I am. I think I hate false eyelashes now.
Oh, they're awful.
They're annoying.
They always stand out like a sore thumb as well, and you can tell.
Like, you can see some ladies, like, again, no offense to anyone that uses them. This is not. Yeah, they're like, it's like, you look.
I know I did it in a really stupid way there, but it's just to literally show how big they can be.
It is. It's like, oh, I don't know what look you're going for, but spider webs are probably not it.
Nope, you're going for the hooker / tramp look.
Well, I kind of like the hooker / rock chick / tramp look, obviously.
Sorry, I'll go with high class whore.
High class core is that not too bad either. But my point really is, I mean, we're joking around, but my point is that chicks do have to really prep for this crap because people will come down on you. Like, okay, yeah, I'm a little bit different. I will show up at a party like whatever way I want to,
Wearing tracksuits.
Yeah, nobody's gonna tell me what I can and cannot do. But I kind of like it too.
Yeah, fine. Like, it's a difference if you like doing it rather than feeling like the unnecessary and unexpected beauty regime that women have to go through. They feel like they have to go through because of some crap from Vogue magazine or
exactly
whatever.
Like that.
But then again,
no.
guys have that too because you see people like pin-ups in GQ like putting all those sorts.
Their
of
Armani
shame,
suits and stuff. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And we feel that kind of shame too, but not quite to the same extent. So.
Well, the thing is,
anyway, I'd rather not talk philosophical
okay.
about the difference between genders, if I'm honest, but
Okay, we're totally.
No,
getting
you
this.
carry on. No, I'm
No,
joking.
I'm just playing around. I do think there are too strict standards.
They are, I think both
Well,
have
like,
standards, but obviously
I've
women have
worked.
far too high of a standard in
Like,
that
I
respect.
flippin' love dressing up for parties and cosplay. Like, I will go over the top. I will look
Whereas I,
like a freaking Hollywood starlet. I love
yeah,
that.
whereas
But,
I absolutely hate it.
well,
I can't
right.
stand it. I'd
Which I
rather just
get.
turn up in in jeans and a t-shirt.
Which I totally support. But it's like, if I had to go to work every day in
Mm.
heels and full makeup, no. I've been written up because I would refuse to wear full
Yeah,
makeup to work.
and that is exactly the reason why I love the fact that my company went to all dressed out all the time, and it was bloody brilliant because
That's
I
the way it
absolutely
should be.
hated wearing shirt and ties. I hated it.
Oh, Bamboozy is going to be like, I've been thinking about this. I'm thinking of instituting pajama bottoms as our uniform.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Absolute comfort is how I see it.
Fine, I can respect. I can respect it. I
Yeah.
get it.
No ties. Not for work. I mean, ties if you want to, like,
But
go to a nice
just
dinner.
remember one thing.
Ties do look nice, by the way. But yeah.
Plumbers don't wear ties.
They don't, and they make tons of money. But if I was dating a plumber, not Super Mario, but if I was dating a plumber, I wouldn't mind like a tie at like a nice dinner or a Christmas party.
Yeah, fine.
But not
But
every day.
there would also be lots of pipe.
Oh gosh, don't, Pete. It's been so long, Pete. It's been so long.
And with that note, we're closing out.
Yes.
We've got
Okay.
long beyond the point where we should have stopped.
I know. I'm running on fumes. That's when I start saying the craziest stuff. And I already
That's-
say, look at that. One eye. Look
Why do you
at
think I just?
one eye.
Why do you think I just said what I said? Come on, all right.
I just can't believe one eye is completely gone. Anyway.
Whatever.
Whatever.
You
Thank
put
you.
yourself through that,
I do.
unfortunately.
Oh,
You
yeah.
chose to do it.
Like, if I was to wear heels, which is very rare that I will wear heels, but if I was to wear heels and then come home and be like, oh, my feet hurt, like, I would expect the other partner to go, you brought that on yourself? And it's like, yeah,
Oh, it is exactly what I used to do as well, which is why Rachel doesn't wear heels anymore.
But then they could run me a bath and pour me champagne, and then I would love them forever.
Anyway, calling a day on this one.
Thank you so much for joining this
Yep.
insanity. I'm gonna go crash for the evening, probably.
Yep.
Unless I get a
Yeah.
second wind, then you might see me on Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Well,
Halo.
thank you. Yeah.
But thank you so much.
Thanks for
Mhm.
listening. Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Oh
if
my
you've been
gosh,
watching,
Lynn just turned up, Pete.
uh,
Lynn,
Yeah.
we're leaving right now.
I'm sorry, Lynn. Hi, Lynn. Bye, Lynn.
Lynn. It was a really good show.
Go back and watch it. The VOD's available now.
Yeah, there is a VOD, video on demand, that you can go watch. I'm about to go crash. I'm so tired.
Mhm.
I'm sitting here complaining about being tired, but knowing Lynn, who, like, works 12-hour
12-hour
shifts.
days,
yeah, it's probably like,
And probably hasn't had a day off in at least 2
oh
weeks.
my gosh, yeah, see, my heart is just, like, breaking. Ugh. Lynn, come
Yeah, it
visit.
sucks.
Come
I've
visit
known
me.
plenty of nurses over the time as well, and it always.
She works hard, like, super
yeah.
hard. I mean, all nurses
It's one of those
work hard,
jobs I don't envy the person. I could never do it myself, so I've got proper respect for people
Look,
who do it.
it requires being nice to people, and Lynn is like the most tender-hearted, kindest person. I would just be like, if you take care of yourself.
I'd be.
I don't have the nurse's touch at all.
Honestly, I'd probably be the most judgmental nurse of all time. It's like, so you were having fun and stuck something up your ass. Well, that's your own fault.
Oh my gosh, my mom worked for a doctor for like her entire professional career of
Yeah.
when I was alive, and she would come home with those stories where people really would show up to
Yeah.
what you guys call A&E, we call it ER.
Oh yeah.
Stuff up
We know about ER because of goddamn George Clooney. Thank you.
Again, no judgment here, just kind of like, wow. But anyway.
That comment, fantastic.
Oh, good way to end it. Lynn says, the mask covers the words I utter under my breath. I know Lynn and her utterances. Yes.
Oh, I know they're probably
That's
quite
great.
as bad as
She's-
you at sometimes.
Well, my problem is I just say it,
Yeah, you've got no filter.
And Lynn is very kind. She's just very. That's why we're friends. She's just so kind. Anyway.
Yeah, she's the yin to your yang.
Exactly. We're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna go sleep, or maybe drink the rest of my wine. I don't know.
Yep, Lynn,
Sleep.
go to sleep. If
And
you haven't
then-
slept already, go to sleep.
Yes, Lynn, you sleep too. I'll probably watch, I don't know, Call Me Kevin and obsess over my crush. Anyway,
ding,
so.
Ding, 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 ding. What a surprise.
Yeah, exactly. Poor Pete. Pete has to live through all of my crap. Anyway.
Yeah, even posting a link to GTA Trilogy, all the information that Kill Me Kevin
was
had
a
wrapped
good
up,
video.
when I'd already done it on the show a few days before.
Yes, but it was a good video. It kind of, it enhanced everything.
Wrong, I did it better.
Okay, we will see you guys next week for sure. We may see you this week. Fridays will
Possibly,
be coming
if we
back
can.
soon, very soon.
Well, we're going to I think, to tentatively say they're returning in 2022 at this
How can I
point.
be as old as I am and still getting pimples? Anyway.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? Absolutely sucks. And I'll tell you off stream why I can get them.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay, we will talk to you guys next week or before. Bye.